right there and there, we're like, okay, dude, this is reality. We are pregnant. She's freaking out. It's her body. She's the last born. She's Christian.
You guys said you're dating the Christian way.
You know, we've been out there.
You've been out there saying that, yeah. Living with a conscience that testifies against you, moving away from your convictions, getting to the point of saying, I was sleeping on the job. Dang it. It's like living with a constant hangover that never ends. That never ends. Because your conscience and your convictions are all it's going to say to you. That's not who we are. It's exactly what Lelo asked you. Is this who we are now?
I would have left her. Would have said, let's abort. Just to protect who I am in the faith community. I would have said, let's hide this.
Let's hide this thing.
And I could have easily gotten away with murder because she's not there. She's far. It's not me walking around with the big belly.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to That Husband Podcast with me, Black Newborn. Here we are husbands who aren't where we want to be, but certainly are not where we used to be. We are imperfect, always failing forward, trying to know better so that we can do better.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to That Husband Podcast with me, Black Newborn. This is where husbands try to know better so that we can do better. Before we get into this episode, I want to thank everybody who's been supporting us by buying us coffee. If you're wondering how to do that, there's a link in our comment section that you can click on and buy us as many coffees as possible. We love coffee here. It energizes us, keeps us going as we make more of this content. If you are new, please don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you're updated on every single episode we drop every Wednesday at 11:30. Second way you can support us is by booking me as an MC or a speaker for the next event that you're having. And that's at booking@blacknewborn.com. That's booking@blacknewborn.com. The future husband, future mfana, the current husband, he'll explain what's going on. What's going on? Libs are the libs.
How's bro?
You good, my dog?
I'm good, man.
Good,
Excited
good,
to
good,
be
good. Bro, the first time I asked you to be here, you said no.
Dog, I was about to say it's been a long time.
You said no.
I needed to grow.
No way. No way. This guy said no.
Let me tell you how it happened, bro. So we met, and then as we left CCM,
Yes.
Lelo's like, hey man, Black says he wants to shoot something with you. With us. Whoa, with us. Like, no, man, I just arrived. What are we shooting? It's like, no, he has this podcast. I'm like, wait a minute. I will see. I'm like,
I made
we'll
my
see.
podcast.
I think it's been a couple of years now. So it's been a long time coming, bro. It's been a long time coming. So I'm excited, man.
No, I'm glad you're here, bro.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope, man. We're chatting earlier on before we started rolling that I don't need to explain anything to you. You watch the stuff. even now, as this is playing, you're commenting.
Bro.
You are commenting right now.
In real time.
As this is playing.
In real time. I mean, that's how dope it is. That's how dope it is. And yeah, as I said, I'm excited to be here, man. And yeah, let's get into it.
No, I appreciate it, man. So you know what that book behind me is. We season 1 wanted to put names of husbands in there, but in season 2, as you've noticed, we asking our guests to define what a husband is. So pretty sure you've had time, unlike our other guests who don't know what's coming. You've had time to think about your answer. So in fact, your answer needs to go in the first page of that book. What's a husband, dog?
I thought of it, bro, and I'm like, what came to mind is that a husband is a leader. A husband is a provider.
Sure.
And a provider of love, security, finance, security, a leader, and then in everything. I recently learned that you can't shy away, Baba. Being a husband means that you're a leader every day, in every season. And I think something I realized recently is that you lead even when you are victimized. And it's quite a tough thing.
Sure.
I think as husbands, we are called for such a very great call. I mean, because scripture compares us to Christ. It says we ought to love our wives as Christ loved the church.
Yeah.
And when you look at Christ and how he loved, he had to lay down his life. And then when you look at the church that he laid his life down for, it's tough. But yet again, it says, husbands, love your wives.
Yep.
Like Christ loved the church.
Yeah.
So it's quite a big call, man. We are called for something very great, something very massive, and we bear the responsibility.
Sure.
We feel it on our shoulders, you know. Recently I felt good. Yeah, there's some weight on my shoulders, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing though.
Sure.
But man, you feel the weight. You don't show up the same way anymore. You feel that I'm showing up very differently.
Sure.
And we've had a number of chats, and I can tell you now that I've crossed the line. I've crossed the line. I've crossed the line. I think even before marriage prep, showed up very differently.
Sure.
And I show up very differently.
Sure.
And so, yeah, man, you're a leader, you're a provider. And I think provision is also a very tough thing. Because once you take this girl from her father's house to say that I'm marrying her, you are taking off and taking on all of that responsibility that the father had.
Man, yeah.
And so if they had 3 houses and so forth, she's got to live comfortable.
True.
You can't take her home where she's comfortable and then bring her here to die.
Hey, my man.
Bring her here to starve.
Yeah.
Bring her here to be unsecure.
Sure.
Unsecure in your love, unsecure just physically. So, gotta protect them because we are called for that.
Yeah.
And so, man, it's tough, quite a big call, but we're here for it.
That's good, bro.
We're here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a friend of mine, he was on the pod, DJ Mkabe.
That episode, dog.
Fire.
Yo.
Yeah. That thing was hot, man. So he had said, it wasn't in the pod, but because he's a marriage counselor and he also MCs weddings. So he's at a wedding, and so he goes to the bride, and he says to the bride, I just ask you a couple of questions, answer yes or no. Do you come from a house? Yeah, I came from a house. Strange question. I came from a house. Did your house have, comfortable beds? It did. Okay. Did you come from a house that had a car? Yeah, we had 2 cars. Okay.
It's piling up.
Good. Yeah. Did you guys eat every night? Yeah, we ate every night. Did you guys go on holiday? Yeah, we went on holiday. Did your parents buy you clothes? Yeah. Right, sure. And then he goes around to the groom and he says, did you hear what she said? Yeah. Did she come from a house, a place that had a house? Yeah. Did she come from a house that had a bed that's comfortable? Yeah. Did she come from a house that had, 2 cars? Yeah. Anyway, then he answers yes to all the questions she answered. And then he says to the groom, so don't ever think for 1 second in your marriage that she came here for those things.
She has those.
Right? She had those things.
2 cars.
Yeah. Don't ever in your marriage think, hey, I'm working hard, monsieur. I bought you a car. She didn't come here for a car. She had 2 cars. She didn't come here for a comfortable bed. She had a comfortable bed. So don't lord those things over her, right? Like, provide those things. You've taken over from her dad. Increase those things, right? Make them better.
Yeah.
But don't ever think for a second you're going to now lord those things over her, and say, I'm working here. Yeah. Her dad was working. She didn't marry you because she was lacking a man in her life that was working. Her dad was working, right? She didn't have a dad. She came from a house with a mom who was working.
Yeah.
So don't ever think for a second, man, she was desperate and now you're going to, dangle these things over her. I was like, man, such a powerful exercise, like a dope visual.
Yeah.
In the midst, and I'm recognizing, and I'm saying this now because I'm also recognizing that in our Instagrammable culture, we've lost visual illustrations. We kind of lost visual illustrations in churches as well. But in weddings particularly, we've lost visual illustrations to demonstrate this commitment that people are going into. We would find those cheesy. I was talking to Jacob Msipa, Pastor Jacob Msipa, and he's been married for 20 years. And when I saw their picture, of their wedding. I mean, they were in Star White, you know.
Yeah,
So you can tell it's 20
days,
years ago.
It's not recent.
Yeah, Star Whites. Where it's like, yes, you guys are brighter than angels
We've
right
made it,
now.
bro.
Yeah.
It's the day.
We know you guys are getting married. We're not confused.
Who are the guests? Nah.
But the thing that was dope about their thing is when I don't know when in the procession they did this, but the picture, they were tied with a rope to symbolize oneness and to symbolize that nobody's leaving here, right?
Sure.
And we would think, well, that's cringy.
Yeah.
It's not Instagrammable.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, it's a visual demonstration for yourselves and for anybody else who's watching, who came to the wedding, who are supposed to be witnesses, to say, man, that's what these people are doing.
Yeah.
We're not just here celebrating kiki, but we're seeing, man, like these people are tied to each other. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we asking you questions now. Do not dangle the stuff over her head and think for 1 second that she came here because you picked her up from the streets and she was desperate. She had these things. She came here to build a home with you. She's an equal partner with you. She's an image bearer like you. So don't ever think for 1 second that she's confused. Hey, I didn't have a bed now.
Now
suddenly,
all of a sudden,
yeah. Like, you know. So I was like, man, that thing is massive. Yeah. You
bro, that's very, I think, eye-opening. And recently, I'd call it a furniture project. Busy with furniture.
Yeah.
And when these people come to deliver, I'm fine.
Sure.
I pray for those things.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why I pray. Because I think it's very possible for these material things to start being weaponized, you know? And to bringing some context now, where we are, only one of us is working. Currently. And we are on the furniture project. It's our thing.
Yeah.
And so it's very easy for the one with the pay slip to say, don't forget.
Yeah.
You're sitting comfortably on those couches.
Yeah.
Didn't even cook. I'll take them back. I will take these things back. And with time, bro, and I think it also manifests itself in our speech.
Yep.
We married, we're a pair. But then it's your couch. It's your car keys. It's your room. You know? But then it's our house and our marriage. And now that's coming from, but I bought these. And so when I pray for these, I'm like, these things belong to nobody but us.
Yes.
If we have to one day take the cry now, split that couch in half, that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
Because it's our thing. And I've realized we have to be very intentional about it.
Yeah.
Something like the receipt you get from buying these things. Bro, we take pictures of that and say, hey, here it is, dude.
Yeah.
Know about it the same way I know. Every little thing that happens, we do it together. And it's trying to eliminate that possibility of my stuff, your stuff. But it's our marriage. When it suits me, it's our stuff. But sometimes it's my things. And I think where that's coming from is partially how I grew up. You know, I come from a home with two great loving parents. But along the way, I feel like what my parents' marriage has taught me most, more than what to do, it's what not to do. And
those are some best lessons, bro.
Bro.
And they free.
That's mahal.
Yeah, you don't have to go through it yourself.
No. And I think growing up in my house with my sister, I realized quickly that, you know what, I've never had the talk, this is what you do in marriage, this is what you don't do. But I've seen what not to do. Because I like to believe that I'm very observant. I pick things up very, very quickly. And from a young age. And so I recognize, but okay, this does make sense. And I'm a kid. Am I supposed to see this? But what am I doing with this? You know? Somebody can say, but I didn't learn this from home. True. But what you didn't learn, what are you doing with that now in your house? You know? Are you now gonna carry on with the same thing? And so I've seen this manifest. Your things, my things. And I'm like, nah, it's not gonna work.
It's not the one, bro.
For where I want to go with this person, this thing, my thing, your thing, our thing, sometimes it's not gonna work. Sure. And so when these things come in, bro, before I unwrap these things, before we go crazy over them, like, dude, we need to pray.
Sure.
Because we don't want these materialistic things at the end of the day to ruin a covenant we have with God.
Sure.
Because when we were getting married, or on the day we get married, these things are not there. We are standing at the altar, just you and I, with nothing.
Yep.
And so once we get to be together now, suddenly, man, we have this, your thing, my thing. I'll use, and I get it. If you perhaps have two cars, then sure, it's your wife's car, it's my car. But we shouldn't get lost in all of that to say, but it's our property. It's our things, you know? And I think the two becoming one speaks a lot into that. On our marriage journey, I'll call it that, journey to marriage. Very, very close. I'm sure by the time this episode is out, I'll come back doing this.
Come on now. Left-handers clap.
They'll hear.
Sure.
So it's a journey, man. And through it all, becoming one means that you lose a lot of yourself.
Sure.
You let go of, I come from this kind of a home.
Hey, man.
You come from this. But that joke that we're going to wash dishes. We're not going to wash dishes. Why did we grow up washing dishes? Don't get it. So it's a tough thing, but very necessary, man.
Yeah.
I think if one doesn't want to get married, or if one doesn't want to change, leave it.
Married, bro. Yeah. Don't do
get
it, bro.
married.
Don't do it.
Because it's gonna, I think it exposes who you really are.
Yeah.
Because when I'm staying alone, I don't wash dishes. I don't. I wash them when I want to wash them. I don't wash them every day. Because I grew up washing dishes every day. It was a thing. It was law. And I said, nah, one day when I have my own, I'm not going to wash dishes. When I don't want to wash dishes. My girl is a very hygienic person, Baba. Pella. She doesn't want to see that thing with all of her heart. And so it will be like 9. Half 9. Yeah, dude. So what's up now?
Sure.
Like, no, I'm gonna wash. But you can't be washing dishes. Let's leave those things. We'll see them tomorrow. Yeah. Then she brought a whole understanding. And now I really get it. You know? Sure. And I said to her, I may not get it completely.
Yes.
But man, it's cool.
Sure.
Marrying you means marrying this type of things as well.
Yeah.
So I'll do it. And for the sake of harmony, dog. Yeah. Man, for the sake of harmony, because we can't be fighting over dishes now. Yeah, we can't be fighting over.
It's over actually dishes. Fine. You fight over dishes. Don't fight over stuff.
Over other stuff.
Yeah.
You know that fatuk. When that fatuk is in the sink and it's watery.
Oh man, no way.
I'm like, we can't.
I hate that stuff.
I have to
hate
hold everything in me to not say anything or think about what I'm about to say. Because I'll be burning up.
Oh, I hate it.
I'll be burning up. Because I'm one person, when I get to the sink, see, I just ate.
Yeah.
I want to wash my hands. I need to get to a dry fatuk, I can't get there. And this thing is moist. Then I still have to.
Yeah.
Then I feel dirtier than I was before.
And it smells.
Yeah.
It smells quick if it remains wet. Anyway, before we turn this into a dishwashing episode,
before we move, you know what we've said? She said, you know what? This is now we're having this dish conversation. Like, you know what? For the sake of our marriage, we need to invest in a dishwasher.
No, you have to, bro.
Like, and it's a serious thing.
I started a dishwasher fund. I wasn't faithful, But part of what we want to do as a podcast is just gift new couples a dishwasher. Because that thing's gonna save you.
We are top of the
list. That thing is gonna save your marriage, bro.
Yeah.
Like invest in marriage counseling, pre, during, after the wedding.
Yeah.
Invest. But also invest in a dish. In fact, I would argue invest in a dishwasher more. Because
it's gonna save us a lot of time, and it will also save us some time for looking at each other in the eyes. Because then that's sorted out.
Exactly.
Instead of standing behind her and wiping these things, I can look at her in the eyes.
Yeah.
So we are. It's a thing. We have to get a dishwasher.
Now you have to.
It's on the project.
Dishwasher is gonna save your marriage.
Right? Yeah.
Earlier on, you spoke about being victimized. What did you mean?
Sheesh. When two people are together, be it in marriage, in any sort of relationship, there's conflict.
Sure.
And as a guy being a leader, being the head, we like being heads, Baba.
Yeah.
We like being heads. We wanted that when we put our foot down, then we are heard. Somebody said in the other day, when you put your foot down and then you kali echo, it's empty. There's nobody. You're alone.
Yeah, Papa.
Yeah. See, I can't like it much. So, being a leader, man, means that say there's an offense.
Yeah.
I'm not okay.
Yeah.
I'm hurt. But for us to come back to each other, it's my place as a leader.
Sure.
To initiate the conversation. It's easier when she's hurt. And I know between me and her, she would bet that I'm the best apologizer there is out there. I can apologize. And it's not coming, I don't prepare. But when she's offended, I can really calm down.
Sure.
I can really, I'd say, bend my knees and apologize, humbly so, and say, what's up? And she'll articulate, I'm offended in this way.
Sure.
And I realized, Osmak, I'm wrong.
Sure.
You know what, girl? Askisi.
Hard it talk, yeah.
I was not aware. And it would be not a conference call, but it would be long.
Yeah.
Like we dissecting this thing.
Yeah.
And then I'll apologize.
Sure.
And so that's how I am. She's not like that. So now when I'm victimized, I could easily expect the same approach. Like, let's break it out. I'll tell you how I'm offended. And then you're like, oh, I realized, we're walking through it the way I would.
Sure.
Like, are you offended? Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
So now, we can't be sour forever.
You can't be sour forever.
Dude, because this person is fine.
Yeah.
This person is absolutely fine. And there's nothing that makes you feel like I can do this thing alone when you're offended and the other person is fine. You feel like, Yazid,
oh man,
I can live alone.
Oh,
I don't
man.
need this person.
Yep.
I don't need to be here.
Yep.
I can do this thing alone because she's fine.
Yeah.
But you're not fine.
Yeah.
So even in that, apart from you being the victim, you're the leader. So you're hurt, you're wounded. But you go to the clinic and say, hey man, I'm hurt. And I think as a guy, it's not an easy thing.
No.
But you go and say, I'm hurt.
Sure.
The reason why I'm not okay is because I'm hurt. And how I used to be and what we're working on is when I'm offended, I need some time to, I even back out from being affectionate. I can't. Why are you hugging me?
Yeah.
Why are you hugging me? Why? I'm hurt. Let me lick my wounds.
Yeah.
I'll give you the biggest hug thereafter.
Sure.
And she's not like that.
Sure.
She doesn't play with affection. She wants to be held. She wants that hug. She wants affirmation. And so now I'm hurt. And I would withdraw from all of the affection. I just want to be alone.
Sure.
I just want to nurse my wounds.
Yeah.
But now I'm called to be a father. I'm called to be a husband.
Yeah.
And now, as a leader,
Yeah.
it's my job to say, hey man, let's have a conversation.
Let's hug it out.
Let's hug it out. Tough as it is. And you have this thing of walking towards each other, being in the same room, in separate corners, but having to walk.
Sure.
That's tough, man. Because you get there, and how that looks like for us would be, hey man, we need to talk. I'm hurt. But then I gotta be very calm. Because I'm not just venting out how I'm feeling, I'm leading a conversation. So I gotta be very calm. Say, hey, I'm hurt. My tone might not reflect that I'm hurt because I'm very calm. I'm very sober. I'm very chilled. But I'm really hurt. And so this is what hurt me.
Yeah.
Then she'd realize I was not aware.
Yeah.
I've been fine all along. No wonder you've been backing off. I'm like, yeah,
Sure.
that's why I just needed some time. But this is what hurt me.
Yeah.
And so if I shy away from my role, even when victimized, we're gonna go long without being cool. And I'll be dying because I'm hurt.
Yep.
She's gonna do great things. She's gonna show up. I can't because I'm hurt.
You're hurt, bro.
And I'm quiet. And so I can't be quiet.
Yeah.
As people in jail, we just can't be quiet. And as a leader, you have to step up and say, hey man, I'm hurt.
Yeah.
And so it's a tough thing, but it's what we are called for. Called for tough things.
Yeah.
And I think as a guy, we gotta acknowledge that we call for very hard things, man. There are some things that we have to bear as a guy. And speaking of being called for tough things, during our pregnancy journey, we knew very early that we were pregnant. Okay, cool. I think a month. Dude. So we had the whole time.
Yeah.
We utilized the 9 months.
Yeah.
And so that immediately, what that looked like in being a leader, and being a guy and just being sober in that. It's her body. It's not my body.
Yeah.
Cool. It's our kid, right? But we're not experiencing the same thing.
Nah, bro.
I can still jog. I can still jog. I can go to the gym. I can do push-ups. I sleep well.
You can do your work.
You know?
Easy.
She's going through it. And so that's when I realized we call for very tough things because she's going through, will this guy leave?
Yep.
Will he stay?
Yep.
Am I secure? Am I feeling secure? It's my role to make her secure. It's my role to show up. As shocked as we are, it's my role to show up and say, hey man, don't worry, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. It's not my body, but I'm here. So I realized I had to be so calm, sober-minded.
Sure.
What are we gonna do?
Sure.
And so that's a whole journey on its own, man. But as shocked as we were, as surprised and feeling the weight as we were, it's up to me. I remember, for some context, so we are currently in different churches, right? And so now I have to go and tell abafundis about this.
Yeah.
And so just to clarify, we conceive out of wedlock.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that now as a Christian couple, what that looks like and what it's all about.
Yeah.
And where it went wrong. So I need now to make this known to the pastors.
Yep.
Hey bro, I remember sitting with David in one of the offices. And he's here excited and thinking that we're gonna tell him that we're gonna give him a date. Yeah. We're gonna give him a date that, hey dude, in December on this day, please come.
Sure.
Yeah. Go to your tail. In the meantime, we are there.
Yeah.
Black will be there as the MC. Just come.
Sure.
Hey bro, I'm holding her hand, sitting on these couches, and I tell David,
yeah,
sweet pregnant.
Yeah.
You know when David does this thing, when he pulls back his glasses. Yeah. He does that thing and he blinks. I'm like, my stomach is turning.
Yeah.
Stomach is turning. I'm scared.
Yeah.
I am terrified, man, because of just the what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a Christian guy. We're a Christian couple. This guy is expecting marriage topic from us, and here we go, dropping a bombshell on him.
Literal bomb.
Bo.
Yeah.
Here it is. Take it. And then, man, we take some time and we walk through it and we have a nice conversation.
Sure.
And only after we prayed and only when we left,
yeah,
I told the girl, I'm weak. I can't. Let's go home. Before that, the plan was to go to Burger King. You know, on Sundays is Burger King.
Yeah.
The plan was to go to Burger King. We're gonna have Burger King after the service. I'm like, I'm
can't
not doing that. Going home.
You can't.
Going home. I need to recover. My stomach is turning. That time, she's so relieved.
Sure.
She's happy that this thing is out with Pastor David. But now I did it, right? I spoke. So we are at different places.
Sure.
She's very relieved. My stomach is turning.
Because
I'm still feeling the weight. And there's something that he shared as a response to say, guys, before we pray, I just want to say that you can't run away. You have to sit under the weight of this thing.
Yep.
And I said, bro,
100.
I said, but she's cool. She's happy.
Yeah.
She's relieved.
Yeah.
She wants Burger King.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want to sleep. I want to sleep. I want to forget.
Yeah.
And we move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And so I realized there that, man, should I have allowed her to do this alone?
Sure.
I don't think she would have had the capacity
to
do this. But it was me holding her hand.
And she didn't fall pregnant alone.
That's the thing.
So.
You know? Yeah. She did not.
Yeah.
She did not. Takes two.
It takes two,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so in everything, it does take two.
Sure.
You know. So she was so relieved I was under this weight, but it worked.
Yeah.
Did I expect another guy to do it for me? Definitely.
Come on, bro.
Did I expect her to do it? No.
Sure.
I'm the leader. I'm the guy. It's my baby to handle. This thing is mine. And I gotta act in it.
Sure.
Am I scared? Certainly, bro.
Yeah.
Certainly. You've mentioned something about when you hear sounds in your house and you have to go. I'm fine. Stuff.
Yeah.
I can attest to that.
Yeah.
You go there very scared, bro.
Yeah.
You're pooping your way all the way
Yeah.
there. But you're going.
You have to.
You know, you have to.
Yeah.
And this person, when you come, is like, yeah, I'm safe. She doesn't know that before you stepped into the room, you're just like, oh, God, thank you. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Now you can go in.
Sure.
And she finds her husband as a hero.
Sure.
So we are called for such things, man.
Yeah,
And
good, bro.
there's no other way to
That's good.
to get around it, but to go through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, and that's cool. Thanks that you shared that, bro. You know, some people might not understand why it's a big thing, and that's fine. And we're gonna walk through that, you know, because again, it's just in the world that we live in. It's like, man, okay, so you fell pregnant before you got married. Big deal. Like, you're still there, you know, you're looking after the kid, you didn't run away. There's a lot of stories of dudes who run away.
Yeah.
So what's the big deal? You know what I mean? And in some sense we can understand why, you know, living in the epidemic that we live in, fatherlessness, a dude who stays is a hero.
Yeah.
You know, a dude who just rocks up.
Applaud.
You just come on, man, you Superman, dog, you know?
Yeah.
But again, in the village of blind men, the one-eyed man is king. You know, that's the country we live in, right? So, but that's not like your reality, and you wouldn't want to champion the fact that you stayed because you know you probably had, and you still do, had bigger dreams of how your whole dating engagement journey into marriage was going to look like. Yeah. But you got too excited.
That's what it is, though.
if we have to put it in vernac, oh papi, pap. Oh pap, pap. Bro. So where do you how did you guys link up? And what was your dream as a young Christian couple dating? Like, what was your vision for marriage, your goal for marriage, your dream for marriage? And then we'll talk about where the mirror cracked. So how did you meet, and as the leader, how did you set the rules to say, this is where we're going? We're going to Krugersdorp, and then you found yourself in Tembis.
The dual match, no. Wow. And I've realized that that's how it is, because as a man, they're like, what did you do? Let's argue. What did you do? But we'll get into that.
Sure.
So it's 2020. I think doing my first year.
Sure.
And so it's locked down, man. Everything is locked. Even relationships are locked.
Yeah.
It's dry. Everything is locked. Yeah. And as a Christian guy, and I need to bring this into context, I'm a very radical person. Right?
Sure.
Even in my walk with God. So it's locked down. Churches are closed. I have a brother of mine, and we share this same dream to say, bro, churches are closed. What are we going to do? How do we get the gospel to people? Bro, we go around with a speaker and a microphone. We start preaching in the streets. And where I am in my heart and in my walk with God, I have nothing to do with ladies, man.
Sure.
I'm not looking. If you're looking for a blind man, it's me. Make the floor your friend. It's me. I'm not seeing anything.
Sure.
I'm not going anywhere.
Sure.
All I have is my phone. And so I usually don't follow people I don't know on Instagram.
Okay.
So I get a friend request from her. It's a little girl. I think back then it still is Nompuchiwa. I'm like, okay. I don't know her. Let me check her out. I'm like, okay, I don't know this girl.
Sure.
But man, there's one picture.
Yeah.
She's wearing traditional attire. Yeah, but this is somebody that has nothing to do
The
with
Bible
girls.
fell.
Yeah. I'm like, Adam, man, the bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, no way. This is not the plan.
Sure.
So I see this picture and I check the mutual friends.
Sure.
And I see a friend of mine, Sepo, is friends with her.
Yes.
I DM my boy, Mfan.
Yeah.
Who's this girl, Mfan? And I just
Why did you even let that picture capture you?
I can't answer that. I have no idea.
Because you had given you're a eunuch, man. At that point, you like, me and sex, forget it. It's just me and Jesus.
I don't know.
I don't want no women's in my life.
I don't know.
How did that one
the switch up happened and how? I blame that traditional picture. Maybe if it was some other picture, but that particular picture. I consult with this guy who's this chick. She's like, I'm fine. I went to school with her in Val. Her name is Mpumi or whatever. Yeah, she's cool. I'm like, he's like, why are you asking me? I'm like, I'm fine. She's nice, man. I'm fine. Slide in the DMs. I'm like, me,
great.
you know,
I won't slide in with the
here.
gospel.
Yeah, let it stay here. Let it stay between us. Let's keep it there.
Sure.
I'm like, this thing's gonna die out, man. So I follow back. So now we follow each other. We don't talk.
Sure.
Following a stranger. And so she posts, I post. I see, she sees, I like, she likes. And then on the, I think, 29th of August, I get some courage. I get some courage. And we first had this talk in like June, like 2 months down the line. And I just DM, say, hi, girl, you're beautiful, man. Just wanted to say you're beautiful.
Cheers, so you just go straight.
I'm a man of God. I can't go around saying, hey, put it straight. Yeah, the truth shall set you free.
You're hot, girl.
Yeah. I'm not beating around the bush.
Sure.
That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And I still say that her response was very warm. She says, that was a normal response. I was warm. She just said thank you. That felt very warm. Felt that we could have a conversation.
Sure.
So we start conversating. As we do, my sister's getting married in a couple of months. Okay. So we're busy with her marriage arrangement. And jokingly so, I'm like, hey, Van, I'm telling this to my sister. Van, I have a girlfriend, Van.
Yeah.
Who?
You haven't even asked her out.
Bro, would you?
You're prophetic.
I'm like, Van, here she is. Yeah. And she looks like, no, man, I know this girl. I'm like, you don't know her.
Yeah.
Like, this girl has 2 brothers. Like, no. She's from Val. Like, how do you know? Like, I know her brothers. I went to school with them. Like, there's no way.
Sure.
Dog, we sat on Instagram. We checked this out as Vach. She has 2 brothers. They went to the same university.
Sheesh. Crazy.
I'm like, fun. I mean, I was joking. When I said she's my girlfriend, but I'm joking. I was just saying. Yeah. She has 2 brothers. So she's the last one. Yeah. I was joking, man. Man. And then, now we're starting to talk.
Sure.
And we're speaking for a month over Instagram.
Sure.
And she...
What are you saying? Every day you're just saying you're beautiful.
No, now it's a whole conversation. Dog.
You're beautiful on Monday.
Still had those.
Thank you again.
Now it's gone. Yeah. Chapters and verses. Bro, now we're exegeting this conversation. It's going. Yeah. And so, we chat, man. I'm like, I want to get to know you. Who are you? Chat, dog. We used to talk a lot. We still do. And because now I was still preaching. Yeah. I'm still being radical. I only spoke to this girl at 10 at night. And she will tell
Man
the
of
story.
God, you're supposed to be praying.
Baba. Before I sleep, I need to know what I'm praying for. So you gotta talk.
I need courage to go to the
that
Lord.
time, 5 o'clock, I'm waking up to go to the streets. But 10 o'clock, I'm on Instagram chatting to her. And so we spoke for a month. Yeah. And then after the month, I'm like, nah, man, let me see. I don't have a number. I didn't ask for a number. We're just speaking on Instagram. I haven't heard her voice. I haven't seen her in person. No video call, nothing. Don't have a number. We're just speaking via DM. Like, hey, man, may I come see you? I'd like to come see you. Let's go on a date. This is only a month, though.
Have you asked her out?
No. I'm gonna do it. Hey, what if it's not the catfish there? Hey. So I'm waiting. I gotta see her. Yeah. I see the pictures. I don't know her voice, but let's meet. And so Dude, I'm now in Paris. I think the country is open and she's back in UP.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm gonna come see you on Saturday. So we work around this thing. But I'm like, you know what? I can't come and leave. I can't. Like, girl, let me send you money. Book me a place to sleep.
Yeah.
And I'll sleep there. We'll go on a date. I'll sleep there and I'll come back.
Sure.
I'm sending money
You don't know
to
her.
a stranger. Like, do it, dog. She booked a place. I go.
Yeah.
We go on this date.
Sure.
So we're wearing a mask.
Cheers.
Tough, man. So she walks out of her race.
Yeah.
And we now go on this date. I'm like, can we take off, man? We gotta see each other. Yeah. So we take off and we go on this date. And on this date, I say to her, hey, man, I've brought my luggage with me. And there's something missing in my luggage. Man. I need to come back with a trophy. That's my goal. Oh, which trophy? I'm like, you are the trophy. I need to come back here with a title.
Come on now.
This is a month, right? We meet for the first time. On the first date, I ask her out.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. Like, I'm hello. Because, bro, in the country we live in, how do you do that?
Yeah.
People are in danger here. Man. So I leave. So I ask her out. Yeah. She says yes. We're like, okay, so how are we going to work this thing out? Do you know where I am? I know where you are. Yeah. Like, dude, if you can meet once a month, every month, it will work. Yeah. And talk every day, it will be fine. Yeah. Back then, Hatfield is known as Hatfield, Baba. If you're somebody with Hatfield,
that's good. Yeah.
N4. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, sure.
She's in Hatfield. Yeah. It's not kicking in
for
my
the 3 years that she's there, bro. She's not joking.
I don't care. I never came to my mind. So we go on the date. Cool. I come back. Yeah. Now she's my girlfriend. I got my trophy.
Got your trophy.
Doing this thing, meeting once a month. And in the second year of dating, because now this was in my first year.
Do you talk about marriage the first date? Or it's just
no. Yeah. No marriage was spoken of. Okay. Marriage was spoken of, I think, in the chats. Okay. Already. Okay. So by the time we met, we already spoken. Hey, dude. What do you think of marriage? And would you like to get married? Yeah, I still have my 2 parents, and that's cool. I think it's a cool thing. So that was established.
Sure.
So in the second year of our dating, so we're still doing this thing.
Once a month.
Yeah. Yeah. Podge, UP. Yeah. That's how it's going. And so in the second year of our dating, I'm like, no, man, it can't. It can't. And I asked myself, what's stopping me from marrying this girl? I don't have a degree. What's stopping me from marrying this girl?
Sure.
And the answer I got was money. I need money. Because I know for a fact when I go home and tell my dad, hey, I want to get married, he's going to say, I'm fun on a guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Lebo.
Yeah. Like, money is the only thing that's stopping me. And I tell her, I'm like, girl, I've thought about this. I want to get married to you. What's stopping me currently from getting married is money.
Sure.
I am not thinking any other thing.
Yeah.
How am I going to provide?
Yeah.
How are we going to live?
Sure.
We are still in school. Basically, I was saying, if I had the money now, I would do it.
Sure.
We would get married right now.
Yeah.
And so she stuck with this thing. Okay.
Sure.
Money's holding us back. And so when money came, when work came, that's where the excitement came in.
Yeah.
Because now we could see this thing happening.
Yeah.
Because we've been talking about it a lot. We've been praying about it a lot.
Yeah.
And so there's some sense of provision.
Sure.
We're getting stable now. So like we revisit the conversation because it's very important. She could be chilling there. Like,
what year did the work come?
So
what year of your dating?
It's now 2024.
Okay.
Last year.
Yeah.
And so it's early in the year. So first thing is to say, so we revisit the conversation and say, okay, dude, there's money. Haven't got paid, dog. Haven't seen my pay slip. Like, dude,
but there's money.
We are doing it.
Yeah.
This is how it's gonna work. I lay out a plan. This every month that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna save this much, and December I'll be at your house. Oh, cool. That's where the excitement came in.
Ish.
We could see this thing
Happening.
developing.
Yeah.
We are now a Christian couple.
Mm.
We pray together, read scripture together. We are the type to attend wherever there's a dope Christian thing, we are there. You know?
Yeah.
So now we are seeing this thing happen. And now complacency starts to kick in. Because now we can envision it. We can feel it. That this is how it's gonna be. We walk in a church, we can go grab lunch. I can say, hey man, I'm not well. She prays. It's coming. It's coming. You know, you see it.
Sure.
And that's when lines can begin to get blurry because you're already living in this thing. And so as lines get blurry, we sleep together. Context. I am a youth leader. That time. I have a bunch of young people looking up to
you, dog.
The way I've handled and treated myself in the relationship is very pleasing. People are like, man,
it's exemplary.
We want that. You're doing it in such a way that it's very nice. We want that thing. So here we are, drop the ball.
Fine.
So
what happens the first time you cross the line?
The first time we cross the line, it's
because and here's the thing, I get it, you know. We and we're not condoning this, but most couples that do get engaged and come close to the thing, and exactly what you're describing, like all the lines start melting away because you can see the thing you've been waiting for. You know, we always say, and we don't say it just as a throwaway comment, but it's true that Satan wants to get unmarried couples in the bedroom and he wants to get married couples out the bedroom, right? So he wants to get you guys to sleep together so that the guilt, the shame, the weight destroys your potential relationship, that you don't get married because he doesn't want marriages. And for us who are married, he's going to make me not look at the floor and look at other women and get me out of my bedroom. And that's going to make my marriage crumble, right? And so in some sense, we get that once you've, said, you've made very strong resolves in your dating phase, we're not going to sleep together. And not just because we want to show people. But we love Jesus. We love Jesus. We love each other. We know sex can complicate stuff. And we want to enjoy it in its proper context. Strong resolves. Lobola, it's not there. So really, even that gives extra motivation. It strengthens the resolves. But now when that's there, and the future husband proposes, she starts tasting and the possibility that this thing is real. You also like, maravele, like we're
there.
Yeah. And we've crossed this big line, which is engagement. There's money for lobola, and we set the date for lobola. So your gods just melt away. They don't fall. They slowly, and it's not, they don't drop, right? Because you don't come from strong convictions like that and then they suddenly fall. It's a melting away. It's a little compromise here. We said we're not going to touch hands, and now we started touching hands. We said we're not going to kiss for long. Now we start kissing because we've crossed over the threshold. Okay, we said we're never going to be alone. Right?
Here we are.
And now we are alone. I mean, first time you came and booked me an Airbnb, right?
Now we are.
Now when you cross the line, man, we're saving money for the lobo.
So we don't need to book.
I'll sleep on the couch or I'll sleep on the floor, right? And then slowly your convictions melt away, man. And then you find yourself in a very compromising position. Once you come out of that, because you're sober after that thing, there's other terms that we're not going to use. Post something clarity, right? Just we're a wholesome podcast. But you post something clarity. When that happens, there is a level of clarity. And you like, smack. What's the conversation after that? Now, when you're looking at each other in the eyes, for you as a leader, when you recognize and even come to the realization that, dang, like I slept on the job, Joe. Literally. I dosed on the job, right? Because I promised this chick marriage. And now we took a detour. And part of that detour is you guys love each other. Right? So So it's not like you were just trying to rush into her pants because she's a chick.
Yeah.
No, you love her and she loves you, and you have intentions, and your own nature, Satan's working, the world, all of that stuff puts you in that. What's happening to you as a leader?
Sure.
And what's the conversation you have subsequent to that?
I like what you said, that you sober after that.
Run!
Ay. Ay.
Yes,
You do this.
Yo, that thing is
And realize
real.
it's VAR. I'm here. First of all, it was sleeping on the job. I think is very embarrassing. Before we get to how disappointing it is.
Sure.
It's quite embarrassing.
Sure.
Because, why are you sleeping on the job?
Yep.
Shouldn't you have rested earlier on?
Yep.
And you're the leader. So that conversation, to even look at each other in the eyes, it's tough.
Yeah.
Because we take a moment. I'm like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah.
And now we got to find a way to have the conversation, because it's almost an immediate conviction that comes to say, hey, Mfan,
quick,
what did you just do? So, number one, it's very embarrassing. But even in that, first of all, we had to run to each other. And then together realize, okay, we're still on the same page. The conviction is there. Before we could run to God, and I'll clarify why. If we had not run to each other first, and I had run to Jesus and she does the same, we could not be having the same convictions. And how sure am I that she's run to Jesus, and how sure is she that I've run to God about this?
Sure. Fair.
So we had to run to each other and say, hey,
check in.
This is what we did. How do you feel? Like, dude, I feel terrible. What were we doing?
Sure.
Like, dude, I feel the same.
Yeah.
Now that we're here, we know we're on the same page.
Sure.
Because it's easier to say, what if one party's like, I'm fine, this is life. Let's carry on. And then the other is dying with conviction. Then it's hard to go together to the Lord and say, because I'm not going to go if I'm not feeling this thing.
Sure.
And so then we could both go and say, Lord, it was awkward, man.
Yeah.
It was awkward. How do you pray?
Yeah.
After that, you can't.
Sure.
You almost feel like, I think just first. Oh, yeah.
Let me go shower.
Yeah. Think be right. Yeah. After I will come.
Yeah. Oof.
But man, you make right there.
Yeah.
And it's a tough thing.
Yeah.
And so we both being babies crying in our own corners, but together. And from that, we have the conversation. And this is how brilliant she is. She never wants to be in a gray area. She's like, so what does this mean? Is this our thing? Knowing very well she feels the same conviction. Checking in with me. It's who we are. Like, no, we're not. Then why are we here? Like, we slept up big time.
Sheesh.
But this is not who we are.
Yeah.
So let's make right. And she's calling me out to hear, as a leader, what is he thinking?
Yeah.
What if this guy just came to taste and he's going to move?
Yeah, he's going to bounce, bro.
Yeah. So she's asking real questions.
Sheesh, bro.
And so I'm like, no, this is not who we are. This is not how our relationship is going to be. And so after going back to the Lord, we've had boundaries. We're like, what other boundary are we going to put now?
Yeah.
And as you say, you can't go beyond skin. You know, I can take off the shirt. I have a vest, man.
Yeah, sure,
you can't go beyond. So you're there.
You're there.
You're there.
Yeah.
And so, like, no, we're not doing this. And I have to be very adamant with it to say, we are not. I know. You were there. I was there with you. I know what happened, but we're not doing this. We can't. We can't. And so after praying, we have the conversation. So what are we going to do? We got to be very practical about it.
Yeah.
Keeping in mind that we are a long distance couple. We see each other not so often. So when we do see each other, there's a lot going on. You've missed her. You've seen other people. You're now here. This is your girl.
Yeah.
You're both Christian. It's easier to let go because I'm home. You know? I'm home after a month of looking at the floor.
Yeah.
Now I'm home.
Yeah.
So now we gotta be very practical about it. Dude, this is how we're gonna go about it. We're gonna visit each other. we're gonna go back to you are gonna sleep there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna sleep there.
Sure.
Okay, let's look for a community. Who can we consult about this and say, hey man, we need to sleep at your place.
Sure.
This is what's up.
Yeah.
And so we had people.
Sure.
We had people, and it was very awkward, I think, for the security guards at the complex, because like, these people are a couple.
Yeah.
But
this
guy,
one is sleeping
yeah,
there.
yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
Bro, we had to. Very awkward. She goes away and sleeping at a friend's, and I now occupy her place.
Yeah.
So now we're saving money, no Airbnb, we're saving money.
You have to get married.
Yeah, we have to. It's still a goal.
Sure.
It's still a goal. And I think that's the biggest turning point. After all of these conversations to say, hey man, that is still the goal.
We're still going there, yeah.
Don't be confused. It's still the goal. I know it changes a lot of things.
Tons, bro.
Because now there's a little guy coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't care about your plans.
Yeah.
He's here. He needs to eat. He needs to be dressed. And so it's going to be different, but it's still the goal.
Yeah.
And so now we're walking in it very practically. That this is what we do. You sleep there. This is our hours. You'll come back in the morning. I'll pick you up then, you know. And I know you can sleep at any time. You can have sex, you know.
Yeah.
But for us, because we kind of realize that something happens, man, after some couple of hours. You know, at 7 now. Later, something happens now. So like we acknowledge that this can happen any time of the day.
Yeah.
But for us, dude, we can't. We can't share a bed. We can't. I
You
can't
shouldn't.
wake up in the middle of the night and you're there.
No,
You're not my sister.
You're gone.
Joe, you know?
You're gone. Yeah.
So we had to walk in it very practically for it to work. And now comes that difficult part, right? We are now pregnant.
So now you do the thing. You have conversations, you're putting boundaries, and then she comes back and says,
I'm pregnant.
there's evidence, my dog. Our little slip up is not just between me, you, and God. People are gonna find out. But Mr. Youth Leader,
Yeah.
your youth is gonna find out that you slipped up, right?
Yeah.
So when, I mean, you know, we don't have to talk for her, but for you, when she tells you, because now you've said, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Okay, hide,
So,
God.
me right.
Yeah, God, hey, no more sleeping on the job. We're gonna, you know. And then she comes and says, hello.
Hey. From us.
Yeah.
Hello from us.
Yeah. Hello, brother. You're no longer a brother. We are father.
Men's fellowship.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Bro, we had a knowing, man.
Yeah.
I knew. And because we had already crossed the line, conversations shaped up a bit, changed.
Yo, Beans and Bonds, the 4th edition, man. It's incredible that we are saying number 4. The first 3 have been possible because of you, man. You pulled through, you invited people, you made sure that you filled the room. Our guest of honor truly blessed us with the gems that they dropped, man. I enjoyed hosting, and shout outs to all our artists who performed and encouraged us and inspired us with their art. We are on the 4th one. When is this one happening? The 31st of May, right here at Christchurch Midrand. Doors open at 9:30. Event starts at 10 and we finish at 1. So make sure that you are pulling through. Invite anybody. Beans and Bonds is for everybody who believes in healthy marriages and truly wants to celebrate husbands becoming better husbands. All right, so make sure that you are pulling through for this one. It's going to be super, super incredible. What is the theme for this one that's coming up in May? Let me tell you, man, doing accountability the right way. You've probably heard the word so many times. Social media has abused it, but we want to speak about what true accountability looks like, not just for us as husbands, but for women, for wives, for those who believe in the institute of marriage. How can we keep each other accountable and how we behave in light of what marriage is and what a good and healthy marriage is supposed to be, right? So pull through for that, man. Our guest of honor, my brother, Seta Mabula, he's going to be there. You know, he's a straight shooter. You've seen him in season 1. If you follow him on Instagram, you know that his heart and aim is to keep men truly accountable and walking in the straight and narrow. So we want to hear what he has to say. And who's going to be our artist?
My sister, the one and only prolific, profound, pronounced, professional poet, Puno Selesho. She's going to be here truly dropping some amazing pieces, and we're going to be encouraged and inspired. So make sure that you are pulling through for this one. Beans and Bonds, 4th edition, 31st of May, Christchurch, Midrand. Hoppers 9, doors open, 10 o'clock. We start 1, we'll finish. All right, pull through. See you then. All right.
We had a knowing, man.
Yeah.
I knew. And because we had already crossed the line, conversations shaped up a bit, changed. I'm counting days now.
Sure.
Like it's been this week, second week, third week. And then we speak on, I think it's a Friday. We speak on a Friday, like, hey, dude. She's like, hey, dude, we got to talk. Like, yo, what is it? Like, dude, my cycle is messed up. I'm like, okay, let's give it the weekend. Let's talk on Monday. That's what I said. But bro, hey, God.
It's still good. You know what's coming.
We'll
telling the poor girl to we'll talk on Monday.
We'll talk on Monday. What that was like, and what it was is to say, sort of when we look back now, we like, that was kind of a prep. Because Monday, when we spoke about it again, we knew. She came back from work, got also from work, and later on we speak, I'm like, hey, dude, we need to take a test.
Sure.
And she's like, hey, I thought the same thing. On my way from work, I did the thing. So let's talk. Like, I'm fine. Dude, we are parents. Hey, you know, some things, we look at this thing, it's a fine. Like,
you like, maybe this one is broken.
But like I say, there was a knowing, man.
Yeah.
Right there and there, we're like, okay, dude, this is reality. We are pregnant. And I remember it took me a night to embrace and accept that we're here. Because she's freaking out. It's her body. She's the last born. She's Christian.
You guys said you're dating the Christian way.
You know, we've been out there.
You've been out there saying that,
Unprovoked.
Yeah, sure.
We have a close friends. We have a close friends on Instagram. Where it's just us. Lelo X Lebo.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Everybody's inspired.
Sure.
How do we go back? Yeah. So there was a knowing. And right there, as I said, that night, we were shocked, right? But it took me a night. The next day, I'm like, dude, we here.
Sheesh.
I don't know what happened to me in my sleep, dog.
Sure.
But the next day, we're like, okay, we're here. I know nothing about fatherhood. Nothing at all.
You're
I'm a
saving
kid.
money for Lobola.
Dude.
Now you have to save money for nappies.
Diapers.
Yeah.
For a full-time job.
You're fine.
And so it took a night, and the next day we're like, okay, now I need to affirm. Like, no, don't worry. I'm here.
Yeah.
We are going to journey together. We're both scared, but let's find our feet, right? Because we're still both in our parents' house, in a way, there's a way we got to go back home and tell. But I'm like, before we do any of that, let's find ourselves. We had to be so secure with each other. I had to affirm her that I'm not going anywhere. I'm holding your hand. We're doing this thing together. I'm scared. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm here for you, dude. It's not my body. I wish we could share. I wish I could take 3 months and then you take, but I can't, but dude, I am here.
Yeah.
And so after finding our feet, solidly so, that's when we went back home. Went back home, told the parents, told the church.
What did your parents say?
My dad is sitting. So I go home on a Friday. Guys, I need to talk to you. Then I go to youth service.
And you went back home for youth.
Yeah.
Auntie, you're bringing back a youth.
Hey, dog. Youth and man. Yo. So I go to youth service. Normal, man. Normal. I go to youth service and later on I come back. Now, hey, guys, we need to talk.
Yeah.
No, it's a weird thing when I have to address my parents in a serious manner. We mute the TV.
Sure.
Yeah, that's when you know. In my house, when you come and we're talking and TV's playing, just chatting.
Yeah.
It's mute.
Aish.
Like, yeah. Hey man, get better. I've messed up.
Yeah.
They know her.
Yeah.
So I'm like, guys, this is how I say it. I'm like, guys, get someone pregnant.
Get someone
pregnant. I'm like, Boom is pregnant.
Get someone pregnant.
Dude. My dad looks at me
Lord.
and he just sighs.
Sure.
My mom is hiding like this dog.
I
articulate. Yeah, it's been a while. We have known. We just wanted to get ourselves before we could come and tell you guys, because we don't want to be babies about it. We don't want to be shocked and go home crying because what did you just do? Then we look even more like children because what are you doing? You know? So we had to be very sound, and I was very sound telling my parents.
Yeah.
A very tough moment, a very disappointing moment. I think in my whole life, I've never sat under the disappointment of my parents. Ever.
And Fana, in your life, you never thought you'll disappoint them that way.
No.
You thought maybe they'll find me fighting or be angry at someone.
Dude.
This one,
I feel like
your sister got married.
Dude. You have an example.
There's an example.
You have an example.
For an example.
We are there. Your sister is there. And you come. Sheesh. Yeah, it's tough now. So.
I'm a last born now.
Yeah, and she's also a last born. What is this last born story? 2 brothers, big brothers. What are you guys doing? Sorry, man. So now I'm sitting under the disappointment of my parents.
Sheesh, man.
My mom said nothing. My dad is the one we were talking, he's asking questions, he's sighing in between, silence. We're looking at that muted TV.
Can this TV swallow me right now?
Dude. And then afterward, my dad's like, I'm fit, we've heard you. It's cool. And I leave.
Sure.
After some time, my mom's like, come back, man. And then we have the chat.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful to how solution-based we became very quickly. And I think, and I would argue that comes from our approach, the approach we took.
Sure.
If we came home still messed up, then it would have messed them up. But the way they realized, okay, this guy's very chill saying this. This guy is very sober. Right there and then he articulated the goal is marriage. And so I think that rubbed on them to then be very solution-based. Now, I think it took a week because we went home the same weekend. So now my dad's like, do they know at her house? I'm like, what I'm doing here is happening there right now. So a week later, they come, black people and us and our traditions, and they come and bring the issue. She's wearing
when you stole from our garden. Pick flowers without permission.
You didn't even pick. You came and you messed up. You took one flower but messed all the others. Yeah. And so, but man, I'm very grateful to how our parents showed up.
Sure.
Families between each other. Because in my mind, I was freaking out. Lelo is the last born. She has 2 big brothers. Her father is an African man. I'm like, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Oh, they came there. It was almost like kumnandi. We had a Sunday lunch after.
Sure, sir.
It was chilled.
Yeah.
They did say, okay, guys, we are disappointed. But there's nothing we can do now.
Sure.
We need to journey together.
Sure.
And that right there really helped us. And now there was a lot of consultation to do as well, telling the church and what. But because of this backing we had from home,
that's good.
Oh, man, it was very chill. We could face anything. We could face anything. And I think it's also important to have a great community. I remember, I think I told 2 brothers before I could tell anyone, even my family, not even my sister, I think. Yeah, these 2 brothers, back at home, Lehloonolo, and the other one called BJS. It was Sunday. I went to church, and thereafter I told these gents, we need to talk. This is what's up. They're like, hey, fun. Wait, let's first do some errands. We'll come back. We need to sit down on this.
Yeah.
And right there and there, having these two guys in my corner to tell them this without thinking too much, without bringing up who I am, without bringing up my role, fun. That is what made me to still keep my head on my shoulders, you know? And thereafter, by the time I got home, told the church, told my parents, these guys knew. They were just checking in. Hey, fun, how's it going?
What's up? Yeah.
We're good. And if maybe I did not have that, and if the faith community was harsh, I would have died. I would have left her. Would have said, let's abort. I would have, just to protect who I am. Just to protect who I am in the faith community. I would have said, let's hide this.
Let's hide this thing.
And I could have easily gotten away with murder because she's not there. She's far.
You guys are
it's not me walking around,
away.
bro. It's not me walking around with the big belly. Could still show up, be that guy they know.
Could have lied,
you know? And then because marriage was still coming, could have quickly gotten married. And then Jiki would come and say,
Bella, we've seen those where it's where people are at the either looking at the pictures or at the wedding, and all of us are calculating, we're doing maths.
Yeah.
When did this thing? But they married.
It's not adding up.
But
something.
You know.
That's tricky. Because then,
how did you then move and go tell the church? Because again, you know
that
when a youth pastor.
Hey, Baba. That was tough. It was tough. I think if anything, bro, I was not worried about too much about my family, my parents, everybody else. Not even my neighbors. I was worried about the church. How am I going to go back and tell this to the church? Knowing how the church is and knowing my role in serving the church. I felt that every young person that's under my guidance, I've let down. I even felt that should anyone come and say they're pregnant,
go ahead,
blame me. You know? I felt... blame me. There's nothing. I felt that I'm gonna need to take ownership of everything that comes thereafter because of how I was leading these people. We had a lot of things like Real Talk Fridays. We had great youth services in place to try to navigate a lot of things. In our Real Talks, we had sex as a topic. We had relationship as a topic, and we were trying to guide ourselves. So here's the guide now. Coming back.
Here's the tour guide who did not go on his own tour.
Who's not practicing.
Look, guys, here are the elephants. Stay away from them. But you are eating the elephants now. Oh, yeah. Guys, put a fence here. This is where you put boundaries.
I know you don't have a fence. What's the point? So I really felt, man, that I wanted to be held accountable, certainly.
That's good, man.
But I really felt that, man, should anyone come after me, I'd feel like it would be me to blame. So here I am. I let the leadership know. So I write the letter. It's a formal letter. Tell them. The Baba was very short. I didn't need to say much. You can't.
Dear Mom Muruti, Lintate Muruti.
Just put your case.
I ate the forbidden fruit.
Amen.
Forgive me.
Full stop. You can't quote verses now.
You should have quoted them in the bedroom to stop you from doing that. No, it's too late for you to tell us about Genesis 3 and 5.
You can't even bring David to say, that guy was... you can't. So it was very short. I greeted. I told them, sincerely, yours sincerely, left my number.
Grace and peace.
Die. A4, but die. I was this much. So they called me in. We have a meeting with the leadership. Hey, man, we got your letter. This is what's up. Is it true? Yeah, it's true. Where are you in the journey? Plan is to get married. We are this far now in the journey. Yeah, so please hold me accountable. Let me step off from serving as a leader.
That's good.
I'll come back after. Well, I'm not telling them that's how things are done. After a certain period, I'll come back to serve, and if I still can, but just know I'd really love to. It doesn't end here.
Yeah.
So I could even see that meeting was tough.
Yeah.
It's tough because these are men, family men, but when they look at me, they're like, this guy's an example. These men are older than me, my dad's age. They're sitting like this in that meeting. And I'm the one keeping my head up and looking in the eye and telling them that this is what's up. And I felt that, this is big.
Yeah.
And so in our church, how it happens is you don't just step away. Because when you are appointed and anointed as a leader,
it wasn't in secret.
It wasn't in secret.
Yeah.
So now it can't be
in secret.
So it has to happen in a church service.
Live
on a Sunday.
Live.
I look good, man. I wore a suit, got a tie on, went to church, and I faced the music.
Got it, bro.
And that was the most relieving day.
Yeah.
That was the most relieving day.
Come on, man.
Because once my church community knew, I felt okay. I've owned up. Should anyone see me in Woolies picking out baby grows, in Ackermans getting diapers,
you mustn't be confused.
Don't worry. Even myself, because before I did that, I'm excited, man.
Sure.
We can't deny the fact that I'm excited that there's a little man coming.
Sure.
So I bought stuff, but I felt out of place.
Sure.
But day after,
I
could walk in this thing, could do this thing, I could show up, I was so relieved, so confident.
Sure.
And I think that's when the truth really does then set you free,
man.
you know?
Yeah, come on, bro.
So it's been a journey, man, a very beautiful journey. And sure, it's very priceless.
Yeah.
Well, this guy is now here, and sheesh.
Yeah,
like you look at him, you're like, it's my son.
Yeah.
You know, feel like fact that he's a guy.
Yeah.
It's my son. You can't, man. My me. You always say on Pumi said I shouldn't say this. Minangi Popeye. Dog, Jesus. You must stop saying that.
Yeah.
Stop. You're a very wise man. Stop saying you're a Popeye.
I'm a wise Popeye.
I'm a wise Popeye. So, like me.
Sure.
Girl, no, man, not me.
Sure.
And this guy can't speak yet, but I'm like, this guy recognizes who you are.
Yeah.
And so
and
it's
he's going to take his cues from you, bro.
Yeah. So, thing is, and let's dissect quickly the very necessary steps to being accountable, to being held accountable.
Yes.
If I had shied away,
it's good,
right? My son is gonna grow up. He grows up every day, and here is his dad, whom in his 20s messed around with mom, and they had me, and they hid it.
Yeah.
Either via marriage, quick marriage, whatever, but they hid it. And this guy's growing up. What kind of a man am I going to be?
Sure.
To this guy?
Sure.
But you shied away. You were not held accountable. You ran away. How are you telling me now to I'm fun when you do this?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
And so to preserve him and the next generations to come, we gotta face the music. I had to do that, not only for him, but for all those that are gonna come from my loins and his loins. It goes far.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
Who I think it's Magabaza that spoke about how the absence of one man leads to a whole
5 generations, bro.
So if you're absent in that, in showing up, in being held accountable, he's never going to be held accountable. And I can't be an example to him, right? And so now the story is to say, okay, guys, we messed up.
Yeah.
We fell, but man, guess what? We're up.
Yeah.
Right? We picked ourselves up.
There's redemption, bro.
Oh, that part.
There's redemption,
it's
bro.
crazy. It's crazy. It's so great. Now we can tell a different story.
Yeah.
Because we are redeemed.
Sure.
We can be confident because we've been redeemed.
Sure.
And not only from a faith perspective, but also for him.
Yeah.
We can sit him down if we time will tell, where maybe we could have the conversation, you know.
You'll find this episode.
He will. He will. Now he finds this episode and realizes, this man ran away. He doesn't deserve to sit there, this guy. Put me there.
Yeah.
And so now, I think we don't realize as men, the weight, man, that we carry, the presence.
Yeah,
we spoke about it this morning on our way here, that sometimes I don't have to do much. When I'm there, just being there, she's okay. This guy kind of senses something. He relaxes.
Sure.
Because I'm there.
Yeah.
Am I being Superman? No. Just there.
Yeah.
Is it tough being there? It's tough.
Sure.
I'm from work. It's tough, but I'm there. And dad does something, man, which we can't explain.
1,000.
Yeah. No, 1, it's great.
You know, so I think, the point of accountability is a big one. So I have to acknowledge a couple of things in setting this thing up. One, there's a lot of churches that have abused accountability. There's a lot of churches, faith communities that have hurt people and have done discipline, church discipline. You might have a different term for it, but they've done it a disservice and they've done an injustice. And somebody hears your story and they're like, heck no. Like, I know what that looks like. Never ever submitting myself to a church community, a faith community, because I know how much abuse has come from that. You know, you'll get some people who now, will say, you need to stand up in the church, and then there's a repentance program. I'm even putting very fancy terms. They call it in
something else,
right? the ones who've fallen or something like that. And then you have to go through that thing, and it's like, man, I get the heart of trying to restore somebody, but we don't have to continue beating the person down when they've come before us and they've suffered a level of shame by coming before us. That's enough, right? Then by God's grace, the person needs to be restored. And faith community, even traditional communities or cultural communities, had a system in which they can restore the person, send a message to others who might possibly commit the same mistake. So you think of the practice of damages. That's the same thing. The practice of damages is to send a signal to everybody else that you're going to pay if you're not going to go through what we as a community have determined are the right ways. And then paying the damages is also restorative. And sure, we're sinful people. Some people have abused that practice and they continue to abuse it. Similar thing with the practice of lobola. I don't agree that we should not have lobola. I think we should. I think people have abused it, and that's the thing that we should fight back against and correct. But the process of lobola does something for us as men. When we show up, and it gives us confidence that, man, I need to actually step up and not be a boy and be a man now. And it sends a signal to other boys that you're actually not ready for this thing if you're not ready to pay lobola. So stay there as a boy.
Be a boy.
Be a boy, right? So just because some people have abused it, we don't have to do away with it. We just need to correct it and not abuse it, right? Similar thing now with churches. Like, there's clear restorative processes in the scriptures, and part of those restorative processes are not just for your restoration, but it's to maintain order and to say, guys, if God has given us guidelines of how to live, unless we think he's bored in heaven making up rules, he's not. He does all of these things for the sake of our flourishing. And so if we don't adhere to those, then it's detrimental to us. It's not that God now somehow is like, I mean, you're a baby out of wedlock. I'm losing my mind. And he's broken. His heart is sore because he's there. His presence is with us in every moment. But it doesn't change who he is, but instead it affects your flourishing in your marriage, in your relationship, in the family that you're building. Hence, he also gives restorative processes because he cares for the flourishing of your marriage. And so he brings you back so that you're not an outcast and forever lost, right? So I'm like, man, there's people who've abused that stuff. And so we need to acknowledge that. But at the same time, in acknowledging that, we have to acknowledge the beauty that comes with the restorative processes. And so when we out and we're saying to a church community, man, I've done this thing and I'm coming here, submitting myself to you. It does something to our own hearts. Your heart got too excited. Both your hearts got too excited and you jumped the gun before, right? And now it's like, that's why we have these things.
Yeah.
So that they can guide our excited hearts, right? Because your heart will be excited. Your son's heart is going to be excited.
Sure.
And so he needs things to restrain that level of excitement, right? And we're using excitement as a euphemism.
Yeah.
But it's sin. You got happy with your sin.
Yeah.
And you need stuff to restrain your sin so that you don't go out of order, right? Because we naturally will go out of order, right? Even the practice of marriage itself as an institution is there to guide our hearts, right? And so we can't say just because people have abused marriage that we need to do away with marriage. Just because people have abused church discipline or lobola or damages, we need to do away with that stuff. No, we correct them. And we see the value in these things, you know what I mean? And so there is a real sense in how these things are good, you know, and even having to go through that process, what it's done for you guys and what it's done for you as a man, you know, like those things are really dope. For me, at a practical level, man, I always say, you know, at our church we have 3 services. Our 8 o'clock service, you know, generally for old people. It's not for old people, but somehow it's just become
they
that.
show up.
Right? And then our 9:30 service is everyone, you know, like literally all races, you know, family, single, married, engaged, dating, whatever. And then our 6 o'clock service is mainly just young people. Right? So like young adults, students, you know, young professionals, whatever. But I always say part of what restrains my heart, right? So I'm like, man, love my wife, love Jesus. He restrains me. Love my wife, love my daughter, love our family. That restrains me from going out and doing stuff that's going to be detrimental for us. But the faces of all those old ladies at our 8 o'clock service, man, that thing keeps me looking at the floor, Joe.
Yeah.
Life. Sure. Life. The thought that I'm going to have to stand in front of those old ladies and look at them in the face and say, man, I stuffed up. Fun, that thing
alone.
That thing, yo, my heart is in check. Quick. Like my heart wanders, my eyes wander, and then I just see those old ladies and I'm like, I never.
Contained.
Ancrento. Crento.
Bro, that's...
Crento. You know, because another thing is, somebody might watch this and think, if it gets like, you know, we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's fine. There's grace. We all make mistakes. Fine. But we can't live with that kind of posture because then the world will continue being as broken as it, in fact, further. In fact, the world is not as broken and sinful as it can be just because there's all these other processes in place to keep things intact. And so we can't just say, hey, what, this, you know. So I'm like, man, that thing restrains me, brings me back to myself, and it makes me think, man, I know I can while out.
Yeah.
I have the propensity to while out. But man, I don't want to do that to those ladies. I want to be an encouragement, you know, I want to be of good character to just encourage them in their faith. Their faith encourages me. I love seeing old faith because old faith has seen life. Yeah. Right? And so I'm like, man, you still love Jesus and you're 80. Yeah.
Bro.
And you've seen stuff.
You've been through stuff.
Right? So I'm like, thank you for encouraging me with old faith. Man, I'm just gonna try and look at the floor just so that I can encourage you, because I know if I don't, you know. Because if we step out of that, bro, I was saying this to a friend of mine, and you probably did experience this. When you've messed up and you've moved away from your convictions, and your conscience testifies, it's like living with a hangover. Yeah. And like, ask anybody. Yeah. If you're a functioning alcoholic, I get it. Maybe at some point the thing doesn't hurt as much. But if you're not, and you get drunk too much, which I've been drunk too much, and then the next morning you wake up, you know, when you like, this damn fine, I can eat chicken licking all I want. Yeah. This babala is not going. Yeah. Like this one, you just have to ride out, bro. Painful. Sure. You have to write that thing out, sleep again, and then maybe the third day you'll be fine, right? Yeah. Right. So right, maybe. Living with a conscience that testifies against you, moving away from your convictions, getting to the point of saying, I was sleeping on the job, dang it. It's like living with a constant hangover that never ends. Yeah. That never ends, because your conscience and your convictions are always going to say to you, that's not who we are. It's exactly what Lelo asked you. Is this who we are now? And I'm like, that's just her asking that in that moment, which is very weighty. But moving away from your convictions, saying you don't want church discipline, I don't want to go be accountable to my parents, I don't even want to be accountable to this chick now, is like living with a hangover the rest of your life. And I'm like, nah, dog.
You can't.
Can't, boy. Can't. You know, and it starts at that fundamental level with your convictions. And maybe your experience doesn't make sense to somebody else just because at that convictional level, you guys differ, right? But I'm like, if you understand somebody's convictions and how it feels to move, that's the best way I could describe what it feels to move away from your convictions, man. You're living with a hangover because you know what it's like to be sober. To live from your convictions is soberness. To move away from them, man. So I'm like, all of that to say, bro, like, shout outs to you guys that you didn't want to move away. I remember when Lelo spoke to me about the thing, man, like I laughed at first because, again, just because of how Christian you guys are. You know? Just unthinkable. Right? Like, unthinkable. Like we're driving to drop off people after a Bible study. And I was driving her car. I was driving Lelo's car. So there was 4 of us. We dropped off somebody else, and then her and Kitu were dropping me off at my house. And then I was gonna give her a car. And now we're driving, and then she's like, I want to tell you something. I want to tell both of you something. I was like, oh, sure, whatever. You know?
You're driving.
Yeah, and then she's like, I'm pregnant. I'm like, yeah, the second coming. Oh, sure, you pregnant. And she's like, no, guys, genuinely, you're pregnant. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. Though, right? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm like, let me think of all the many ways I can fall pregnant as a man, right? And then I think the 3rd time, she's like, no, for real. So then I was like, okay. So now I'm not like trying to find out if she's actually pregnant. I'm like, what are you actually trying to tell me? Because I still don't believe she's pregnant. Sure. I'm like, maybe she's trying to get my attention and talk about something else. So I'm like, what are you saying, dog? She's like, nah, I'm pregnant, dog. I was like, oh, smack. That's when I was like, oh, smack.
This is real.
Like, you pregnant?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. I was like, dang, okay. Like, first thing, I was just, man, listen, there's a lot of grace for you. We're not judging you. Yeah. We love you. We care for you. And I think for the rest of that drive, it was just like, I was like, man, like whatever happens, don't leave. Don't leave church. Don't leave us. Don't now try and go into a corner. You're going to be pregnant in this community. Yeah. Right? Yeah. You lived with us before you fell pregnant. We were with you. We were praying for you and Lebo. We were walking with you guys. Man, you did what you did. You here with us. Yeah. There's going to be restoration. There's going to be redemption, but we're walking together, you know? And then I was like, it's on me as the leader of the group to tell people what has happened. It's not on you, right? It's, yes, you guys fall pregnant, but as your brother, I'm going to look after you. I'm going to care for you. And at the right time, we can tell the rest of the group, man, what's up? We have a tribe baby now, right? We have a tribe. we have a baby now, right? And even that was a teaching moment, was a moment to say, man, like we hit a couple of points there, you know? One, saying that we're going to be who we say we are in Jesus is not just a matter of words. Yeah. We have to live this thing out. Yeah. Secondly, we fallen creatures. As much as we have Jesus, there's going to be moments where we get blinded to our true identity and things are going to happen. Even when those things happen, subsequent to that, there's enough grace. Yeah. So we're not looking at each other because all of us are doing some stuff at some level, and we all need to be submitted to the cross. We're not justifying anyone's sin, but there's grace and there's mercy. And this is how we're going to look after Lelo. It's how we're going to pray for him and pray for you and continue supporting you how we can, you know. And I'm like, after that, if you sleeping with anybody here, stop it. Right? Yeah. Now. Yeah. So I kept telling him, I'm like, what's happened to you is a warning shot from heaven. It's a warning. I mean, and I'll tell you some stuff off camera. Sure. But I was like, man, this is a warning shot from heaven, right? Because in a group, best believe there's some other people. Yeah. And then some other people don't have the same strong convictions you guys have. Yeah. And for them, it's just like, I will just keep living like this forever. You know? Yeah. But then this is a clear warning shot. So if you leave, you're taking away God's warning shot. Stay. Let the warning shot hit for everybody else to say God is not mocked.
Yeah.
God is not fooled.
Yeah.
He's seeing all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Here's a warning shot for all of us. So stop it. Right? Change how you live.
Yeah.
Be true. Yes, the church is a place for hypocrites. Yes, the church is a hospital. It's fine. But we're not just hypocrites who stay there.
Yeah.
We're hypocrites who are being changed,
Yeah.
who are transforming. So man, that whole thing, I was just like, man, I know it wasn't easy for you guys.
Yeah.
And we had conversations, tons of them. It's not easy for you guys. But man, like there's redemption on the other side of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want you to walk us through that as we come to the end, because I remember even how your process of getting married happened. Lelo kept on saying, man, this is going to be a redemptive moment.
Yeah.
Like I can't, she feels forgiven. She's experienced what grace is in community.
Yeah.
But man, she's just waiting for, the moment where it's going to be like.
Feel and be redeemed.
Feel redeemed. Yeah. She knows she's redeemed, even in this moment.
Yeah.
But man, it's what I said. Just that practical, visible demonstration of people tying each other at their wedding. Her being presented as your bride is a form of redemption for her, because she felt like, man, I stepped low from my convictions, and now I'm gonna be, redeemed again. And I was like, I remember just saying, man, that's God, you're incredible. Anyway, how did that look like, man? Just the process of redemption, where you guys at now with Lobola, marriage, and tonton,
Then it works. Hey man, it's been a journey, as you've said, and and I can tell you now that it's been a tough one. Because our union, and then officially the wedding day would not just be that but it would be like a symbol of true redemption, that there is a way, and I think it's been established that marriage is not any sort of cover up or whatever. We've been here. And so that's what it would mean for us. And the reason why we have had to fight so much for it is because we know what it means for us, what it would symbolize and mean. And so the thing is with the journey, you're no longer just the two of you. You're no longer just the two of you. If it was us, we'd have a small thing, intimate with our friends, family, support, communities, and done. We want, as I've said earlier, we have a furniture project. We want to make a home nice. So wedding is not the biggest thing. But now the battle has been the journey to that. Because now, as a black man, there's lobola. And I remember how tough it was to initiate the conversation, simply because my family felt that, Mfana, what do you have? You're going to make us be embarrassed. We can't go with this much.
Sheesh, bro.
And I felt that currency is put beyond intention in that case. And I know we need money. We all need money. But for me, behind that was a lot of intentionality to make things very clear. And so I'm happy, man, to say that the next month we would be in this journey. We'd be taking care of the rest of Mahadi. And then could say this now, that our families have whispered something to say, guys, we want to celebrate you. Like, what do you mean? No, we want to celebrate you. We want this to be a thing. So allow us. Once you have done your lobola part, the whole complete thing, we want to do our part. We want to show up for you guys. We want this thing to be a big thing, a real thing. Like, okay, that's a bonus, right? But this is what we want. So I'm happy, man, that in the next month we'd be out of here. We'd be fully redeemed and restored in a way that we know and want it to be.
Sure.
And so, but yeah, it's been a journey, a beautiful journey, tough journey. We've grown a lot, but man, it's priceless. It's priceless.
Yeah. How did you feel when you guys did the first conversations for Mahadi? So when you went to Lebo's house, because I mean, jog my memory here, but you know, damages were included in that. How did that feel for you guys?
It felt like part one.
Yeah.
It felt part one of the redemption story.
Yeah.
Because there's something beautiful about seeing families being brought together on your account.
Sure.
Sucks when they are pushing against each other, but that moment was very beautiful.
Sure.
It was that's why I'd say it was part one of the redemption process. We remember coming because we were not there, right? So it's our families representing us. And then afterwards, she's like, "So what are we? What are we? Like, what do you mean, what are we? You know what we... No. After this, what are we?"
Sure.
That's how much we've been counting on this thing.
Sure.
And we had to lay it down and say, but this is where we are. Both families are happy with the intention to get married. It's just a matter that brother man has to come back and then make the things right, you know? So it was a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
But then we knew that this is not it, right? And so it was very redemptive, but also gave us a lot of hope to the future.
Sure.
So yeah, man, it's been great.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
Great.
Maybe, like you have a boy. You've been a father for 2 months.
2 months. Feels like 3 years.
I'm father. That thing. A week, you feel like, yes.
What am I?
As
what am I
people
doing?
like to me.
Yeah.
Right. So when I look at my kid, I'm like, I just know we feed her.
Yeah.
I don't know how she's 6. I don't know. I'm there every day. I put her to sleep. You know, I bath her, we talk. But I'm like, man, it's not like farming. Farming, you know, you wake up, specific hour, you go to the fields, you plow, you put seeds, you know, and there's routines.
Yeah.
At the end of the process of, you know, planting, you wait, you know, rains come, you wait for harvest, you know, harvest the thing, then the process starts again. So you see how you grow a plant.
Yeah.
How you grow a human. I'm showing up, Joe. I'm showing up. I'm there every day.
Yeah.
You know, all the things we champion here on this podcast, you know, be there emotionally. I'm there. Not perfectly, you know. That's one thing I'm realizing I'm being challenged on, that I call myself a teenage dad compared to a toddler or baby dad. You know, I think I suck as a baby dad.
Yeah.
I think I suck as a toddler dad. I think I'm gonna be a great teenage dad. But right now I'm treating my kid like a teenager, which sucks, man, for her, you know? Like it's totally unfair because I think that's my strength. There's guys who just struggle with teenage kids, but they were amazing when they were amazing babies. Fathers when the kids were babies, you know. And then there's just amazing adult dads, you know, who just know how to parent adult kids. And I think I'll be that. So, but now I suck, man. As a baby dad, I suck, you know. So I need to remember to just let my kid feel what she feels and go through that. And sometimes I catch myself wanting her to respond at a maturity level that only life experience is going to help her acquire, you know. So anyway, now I'm confessing. But I'm like, man, that thing is hard. So the 2 months for you, how has it been? You speak passionately about your son, man.
Sheesh.
Like you spoke passionately about that boy when he was still, you know, in the oven.
As a seed.
Yeah. You know, just as a little two-bob coin there, you were like, man, you know. And I remember thinking, hey, this guy mustn't forget that he's going to be a husband test. Okay. The way you spoke about, I'm like, hey, mustn't forget that your wife is the first.
You hear because of...
Yes, I love your son, but First priority, please don't forget, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, how's that, man? Just in light of how he's conceived the journey that you guys had, so seeing him, you don't, the minute you break your convictions and you have your post clarity, you're like, dang it. And then the night happens, you sleep, you wake up, you're like, okay, cool. Let's take this thing one step at a time. Let's come together. Okay, I'm a dad. And then, in that, there's ups and downs. But now he's out.
Yeah, he's here. He's crying.
Yeah. And people know you have a son, dog. Church knows. Every streets know. And now he's here.
I think, bro, it started during pregnancy.
Sure.
And I think I also don't have a 10-mark answer.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody has, bro.
Sure.
I don't think anybody has. Because I was telling Lily the other day that this guy, when he was a month old, we went and we bought a cake, small cake. So we drove with this guy and put one candy.
You put a cake to celebrate 1 month. That's why I'm like, maybe I suck as a baby. I didn't buy cakes,
bro. We are so excited. We're so excited. We're enjoying this journey as it comes.
Sure.
But before I get to the passionate part about it, because Lelo has been a mom for a month that time, we're like, dude, we need to get you out of the house.
Sure.
I'm not standing this thing 3 months or no, we need to get you out. Otherwise, you
broke the black code, bro.
No, we broke it. We broke it like a month old. This guy was out the house, driving in a car. We don't even have a car seat, I think. Sitting on my lap. I'm like, you gonna drive? You're gonna play your own playlist. I'm gonna sit at the back. You do your girly stuff because you've been a mom. It's wear your shorts. Let's look good. Let's go out. You're gonna step out and buy the cake. I'll still chill with this guy. Dude, about great plan. Get there. This guy starts crying.
Yeah.
I have no idea what to do. Diaper is clean. This guy is fed. What's wrong now? This guy's crying. And that moment, I almost broke down because I felt like this guy doesn't know me. This guy doesn't recognize his father. This guy doesn't feel secure in my arms. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't do this.
Shucks, bro.
And Lelo comes back. She's like, oh man, I missed you guys so much.
From the shop.
Bro. And she gives this guy a kiss and we drive again. And this guy starts quieting down.
Yeah.
That almost broke me. The fact that he was crying the whole time
with you
after she left. Then when she's back, she just kissed him. She drove and this guy's chill. Fell down, Fana man qualified. I can't do this. Let's take this guy back. I can't.
Wherever we found him, let's go back.
Let's drop him off somewhere. We'll eat this cake. Or put the cake with so that people can take him.
It's going to be his goodbye cake.
Yeah, at least somebody can see the cake and then see the kid. I'll take the cake and I'll take the kid. Sure. Bro. And I'm sensitive because I don't want to be insensitive to her because she's been killing this thing.
Yeah.
No, one moment I want to come and cry. So I'm being sensitive about it, but I do have a way to have this chat say, dude, this is how I'm feeling. Man, she's like, I'm fine, I've been there. It's only catching up with you now, but I've been there. And that was very encouraging.
And this is in a month.
And so, I think, to conclude, the passion comes from who he is. He's my son.
Yeah.
And I've realized and learned through God's love for me that there's nothing this guy can do or not do that can make me love him less.
Sure.
It's the fact that he's my son. And if I, as an earthly father, love this guy so much, what does that say about God that loves me as his child?
Come on.
And that revelation has made me show up very differently to say, I love this guy. I love him so much. I don't care, just love this guy, you know?
Yeah.
And there are nights where he's crazy. Yeah. But I'm reminded of this. There are nights where I'm crazy, where God's just looking. But he loves me, dude. Sure. And I think the weight of his name says a lot because his name is Leano.
Yeah.
And where that came from, we sat together and like, but we know that conception comes when two people sleep together. But beyond that, it's not our control. So God saw it fit still for this guy to be conceived. It's his plan, it's not ours. Yes, we did what we did. We did our part. But further than that, it's his plan. Hangs his name.
Sure.
And we are constantly reminded that this is not our plan.
Yeah.
This is not our plan. It's like when some scripture in the Bible where Jehoshaphat was just supposed to show up at the battleground, and God says the battle is mine. You show up, and that's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
And I say to you now, let's just show up.
Yeah.
Let's just be there. Take this word that he will do the job. Ours is just to stand at the battleground. It's a tough thing because what do you mean I must stand? There's people fighting. This guy's crying. I'm standing. But just be there, stand in our position, and let him take over. Because this guy is growing and he's now crying and talking his gibberish stuff. Who's doing all of this? We just there. We wake up and he's now doing this. And that's when I realized that it's beyond us.
Sure.
It's beyond us.
Sure. Man, appreciate you, bro. Thank you for sharing your story with us, brother. And once you guys cross over the threshold, you're back here. To come tell us how that's gonna be another flip, man. You guys must write a book.
We have to, bro. We didn't start alone. We're starting as three, so it's a different dynamic.
Totally, man. So now appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
And we want to thank Lelo publicly. I mean, I'm gonna see her after this, but thank her definitely for just being okay with you sharing as a story,
Yeah.
Totally appreciate it. And thanks for supporting, man. You watch every episode, dog.
Hey, bro.
Every single episode.
This is necessary, man. This is their podcast, because what we're doing here is gonna last way beyond our time.
Sure.
You know? And so I'm here for it.
No, appreciate you, bro.
Yep.
Thanks, man. Guys, we definitely, have been blessed by this. Where are you in your story? You might resonate with this because you either at the beginning of where these guys were, and you're afraid to come out and share your story. And please let us know. Inbox us. Let's pray for you. Let's walk with you. See how we can help. But yeah, it's it's not the end of your story. And it doesn't matter what other people might think. God is loving. He's a God of new beginnings, of renewal, of redemption, and he offers that to anybody who would submit themselves to him. So I'm totally encouraged by these guys' story. I wanted Lebo to come earlier for another story, but in God's timing he came for this story, so it was necessary for us, right?
Sure.
So hope that you definitely encouraged and that you'll leave your comments. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're a regular, man, do continue sharing this stuff with other people, and hopefully it blesses them, right? For me and the team here, we'll see you next week, Wednesday. Peace.